Hello and welcome to Paula B Energy, and this is your mid-month reading for all the signs all together. Just a kind of a collective reading for the middle of October. Thank you for being here. And of course, as always, we're going to call in angels, guides, and ascended masters and ask that the messages be clear and concise and for the highest good of everyone who sees this video. So mote it be. Okay, let's start out with an oracle card message. Your oracle card is first quarter moon in Aquarius, and the message is trust the universe. Beautiful, beautiful card. Love the purples. Trust the universe. Well, it might seem like it's a little hard to do that right now in this time of upheaval and change, but we've got to trust that the universe has our back and knows what we need. Your Language of Flowers oracle card is Cyclamen, and the message is resignation. Say goodbye to what you no longer need. Maybe that's how we can trust. Saying goodbye to what we no longer need. I like that message quite a bit. All right, let's bear that in mind as we go ahead and read. I structured this reading a little bit different because I felt like I had questions. And so the first thing I asked was, what is coming toward us in the latter part of the month? And the first card that I got is the Four of Pentacles. Now, often this is the card of hoarding or holding on to something, being unwilling to let go, right? And we see this person, and if we look at it from that perspective, he does look like he's kind of holding on to his pentacles. Pentacles is earth energy. This is the energy that is slow. It's also the energy of our resources. It could be our actual money. It could be our relationships, our health, and we're wanting to hold on to something a little bit because it's scary when we let go of it. But the other more balanced meaning to this card is that we are creating a foundation. It's a beginning because it's only the four, but fours indicate stability. So we're starting something new here collectively as a people and as all the signs. And so, yes, it is a time of letting go, but it's also a time of creating something new and stable, particularly in the world of our resources. Second card that came out for what is coming our way, upright, this card is Ace of Wands. Now this is the beginning of the suit of Wands, which is fire energy and has to do with our passion and our drive. However, this card came out reversed. And so in its reversed aspect, it gives us the impression of, yes, we have passion and drive, but it's a little bit slower. Notice the earth is on top in this depiction of the card. So we're still concerned with those earthly resources, and it's kind of dampening our fire a little bit. That's okay. We still have that passion and drive. Notice the butterfly there, the symbol of transformation. So we're still going to feel that passion, but maybe it's a little bit muted in October. Maybe some things have happened, or we're kind of waiting, we're a little nervous. Oh, we got to wait and see what's going to happen. So know that that feeling is going to be there, but that drive is still there. You still have the urge to go, and move forward with what your passions are. Third card of energy coming toward us is the Three of Swords. Now, we look at this card and we go, oh, his heart is stabbed. But this is swords energy. Swords has to do with air and our thoughts, not our emotions. So this is mental anguish, the realization mentally of something that hurts our heart. It's not the emotional aspect of it, it's the mental aspect, the thinking part of it. It's also communications. So it's possible that we are going to see or hear of things around us, maybe in our own circle or maybe in the wider world, that are going to really kind of hit us, and we're like, oh, I can't take that right now. And that's okay if you can't. Take a step back, turn it off if you need to. Do what you can handle, okay? Everyone is going to have differing ways of handling the things that are going to be coming for us. and happening in the world around us. And that's okay. If you need to shrink your world down a little bit and just focus on yourself and your family and your personal responsibilities, good. Because when you can do that and you can release the anxiety, then you're actually bringing more positivity into the world. So that's always a good thing. I like, however, to be aware of the fact that this is going to be in the air, so to speak. And if I'm aware of it, it doesn't have as big of an impact. Okay. Now, the next question I asked was, what do we need? And the first card that we got was 5 of Swords. Now, what we see in this card is 5 swords that are arrayed in a pattern. The 5 of Swords can sometimes be the energy of our thoughts are all kind of scattered and we really can't make sense of something. And honestly, that's kind of how I feel about every time I turn on the news. It doesn't make sense. The world is very different. So what in the question of what do we need? Well, we need to be aware of that, right? We need to be aware of the fact that things are going to look confusing. Things are going to sound confusing. Maybe they just don't even make logical sense whatsoever. If you're aware of it, now you know how to combat that. And the way you combat it is the next card. I was so happy to see this card, and it's smack dab in the middle of the reading. It's the Magician. Okay, why am I happy about that? Well, the Magician is probably my number 2 favorite card in tarot. And why is that? Because this is the card of you are the magic. We each have the power. We have power over ourselves. Look at what the Magician is doing. The Magician stands before his table, and on the table are all of his tools. He has the cups, that's his emotions. He has the pentacle, that's his resources. He's got the sword, that's his mind and his analytical thinking. And he has the wand, which is his fire, passion, and drive. And then he combines all of those things with his vision, his will of what he wants the world to be. And he uses those tools to create it. He is the magic. Without him, the tools do nothing. They're just tools, and they don't do anything by themselves. Someone has to use the tool in order for something to happen. And so that is what he does. He is the spark, right? He is the part that makes it all happen. So that's what we need to remember. What do we need? We need to remember we are the magic. We are the ones that hold the tools to change what we need to change. We cannot allow ourselves to be fooled into thinking that we are helpless, because we are not. All right. Third card of what do we need? 10 of Swords. Well, we need an end to all of this stuff. And by stuff, I mean the mental thought processes that we get stuck in and all of these communications. When this card came out, my first thought was, we need media to just shut up about it, frankly. When you think of swords, it's air energy, and air is about thoughts, but it's also about communications. Social media, the news, people talking, our own thoughts, and the words that we say to ourselves inside our mind. All of those are communications and ways that we communicate with the world, and the world communicates with us. The 10 is an ending. 10s are always endings, and that means what comes next? A new beginning. Love it. So this is an end to worry, an end to anxiety, an end to overthinking, an end to constantly just being concerned with all of those things that are outside of us. And sometimes it's inside of us. So that's what we need, and that's what's going to happen. That's what's coming for us. But it requires a mindset. This third row is what is coming towards us for the end of the month and onward. And the very first card is 2 of Swords. Now, 2 of Swords is the this or that card. It's the card of, basically, we have 2 ways to go, and we're trying to make up our mind how we're going to do that. But if you notice, she's blindfolded. How is she going to make up her mind and see clearly the path if she can't see? she can't see, partly because swords have to do with the mind, but also she doesn't want to see the truth of something. So the end of the month is going to be a time when we will need to look closely to see if we can discern the truth. And it might not always be apparent. It might feel kind of like we have a blindfold on, and we need to look more closely. We also need to determine, is there a third option? She has a way that she could go. She doesn't have to stay where she's at. She could cross the water and go to the hills behind her. She has more than one or two choices, and so do we. So this card is choice. What is coming towards you, and it's choice of how we're going to think. To my mind, it's the choice between, are we going to let ourselves be dragged into negativity and fear, or are we going to choose to think positive, to be the change we want to see, to be loving to all creatures? Are we going to choose fear or love? Because that's really all the only emotions that there are. If you think of anger, frustration, sadness, those are all fear-based. All the other, and when love is present, fear cannot be present. That's just how it works. So you have the choice this month. What else will be coming? Well, big change. We have the death card. The death card is the card of transformation. This is kind of a scary representation of it, but it's very dramatic, and the drama of it shows you that there's big change, right? When the death card comes out, it's an indication that we are moving from one state to another. Could mean that there is some actual death, and of course, death is a part of life. So in our world, there will be some of that, but also it will be the death or transformation of our own self, the way we think about things, our choice that we're going to make. Are we going to choose love or fear? Transformation from fear to love. That's the transformation we all want to see. And really, we have to embody it first before we can see it in the world around us. I think a lot of times we kind of have this idea that we're waiting around. Oh, well, I'll believe it when I see it. I want the change, but I don't want to be the first to change. Well, how the heck is that going to happen? We have to be the change because it's our energy. And when we change from fear to love, then that is the catalyst. When more and more and more of us choose love, then that just expands the love frequency, and that pushes away the fear frequency, which is what we all want. All right, your final card and what is coming toward us is the Hermit. How are we going to shine? What are we going to shine? Are we going to shine out fear, anger, betrayal, hatred, despair, sadness? Or are we going to shine out love, compassion, kindness, generosity, caring for others? What are you going to shine this month? I hope you'll shine love. All right, and the energy underlying the entire reading is the Ace of Cups. It's love overflowing. This is our emotions, and this is an offer of love. The universe, remember, trust the universe. The universe says, if you will be love, love will be overflowing for you. This is the beginning of that. Now, I'm going to be honest. The world is not going to show you that. The news is not going to show you that. You're going to find it in the faces of your family, in the faces of your friends and neighbors and your community. It starts small. It starts with you. And when you show the love, then you increase that. That's where it starts. And that's where we all have to start with it. Now, I always do an oracle card at the very end. And your card is, because of Halloween, it's the Solitary Witch Oracle. And the card is a really beautiful depiction. It's called Spells from the Hearth. And don't be scared by the word spells. This is talking about creating a safe place for you of contentedness, of stillness, a sacred place in your home, or making your home be your sanctuary. What is a sanctuary? A sanctuary is a place that you go to experience peace and safety. You may not feel that your home is that, so find your own way to create one. Create a space where you will be warm, at peace, uninterrupted, and completely immersed in the magic that awaits only your hands and your heart to bring it to life. So I love this. You have the ability to make not only your home, but the world a place of safety and protection. We all do, but we've all got to focus on that. So I hope you've enjoyed the message, and I hope you'll join me in choosing love, and I hope that you'll join me next month for your readings. Thank you so much for being here. Bye.